Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Taylor MacIntyre. We begin with breaking news. A new report on money laundering in BC was released earlier today, finding BC's luxury car market is being used to launder the proceeds of crime. The review was led by former senior RCMP officer Peter German, with the findings revealed by the Attorney General David Eby just before noon today. Led by the Dawson Creek Chamber of Commerce, a group of residents, concerned citizens for caribou, have started a petition that has garnered approximately 10,000 signatures so far. The petition aims to slow down the provincial government and ask them to take a step back to conduct proper consultations with all users, stakeholders, businesses, and local governments. For the last 3 consecutive years, Kayla has made the trip to Vancouver to record a song in a professional studio. Although she doesn't see singing as her end career path, she's able to connect on a different level with herself and others through her music. Tomorrow night, the Junior Canucks welcome North Peace for their first home game of the new season. The team is hoping that the home crowd will be behind them, cheering them on for a W and a 2-0 weekend. In support of the policy, at South Peace Secondary School in Dawson Creek, a gender-neutral washroom space is being built. Within the school, there will still be the traditional gender-separate washrooms as well, providing options and a safe space for all students. The Burgers to Beat MS campaign is led by former national soccer team captain Christine Sinclair, whose mother was diagnosed with MS over 30 years ago. Sinclair says she wants to do anything she can to help put an end to this disease. Mayor Bumstead says that the elves will be restocking the magic candy cane tree until the end of the Christmas season on December 31st. It looks like a new tradition has begun in Dawson Creek. During the 5th week of strike action, the rotation has returned to Dawson Creek. Local postal workers and letter carriers took to the picket lines again earlier this morning. Earlier today, the Trudeau government introduced back-to-work legislation, but said it would delay debating the bill in the House of Commons to give a special mediator time to try to reach an agreement. If the legislation is passed, the local president says the union will initiate a legal battle.
They are going to be fighting it. In 2011, they fought it and they won the arbitration for that, and they'll be fighting it again.
Pfeiffer adds that negotiations have been going okay thus far, but says that Canada Post is still reluctant to meet their health and safety concerns. According to Cup W, the union has the highest rate of workplace injuries in the federal sector in Canada, 5 times higher than the rest.
People go drive by and they're honking their horns, and we're having a really good time with the support, lots of good comments telling us to keep fighting.
In addition, Cup W says the mail backlog has been highly exaggerated. Canada Post has reported that hundreds of trailers are sitting idle, full of packages, when in fact, according to Cup W, the Toronto Local reports they have about 70, a backlog that could be cleared within a few days. It was an exciting evening in the energetic city. Residents have elected 2 new city councillors, Becky Grimsrud and Tony Zabinski. Grimsrud managed to receive the highest number of votes, over 1,700.
New perspective, a bit more open dialogue with the citizens, hopefully a lot more new ideas and just different things that I can try to come up with to help the average person in Fort St. John.
Re-elected council members include Gord Klassen, Lilia Hansen, Byron Stewart, and Trevor Bolin. Previous councillors Bruce Christensen and Larry Evans were not re-elected this term. Mayor Lori Ackerman has been re-elected by acclamation. She has been mayor of the city since 2011.
I was ready for a debate. I was looking forward to being challenged in that debate and defending all of the projects and everything that the city has done over the years. But alas, that was not to be.
Over 2,800 residents voted in the municipal election, 20% of the estimated number of eligible voters. With the LNG plant approved in Kitimat, Mayor Ackerman says council will have some big decisions to make over these next 4 years. She adds she's looking forward to continuing her work for the residents of Fort St. John. Taylor MacIntyre, CJDC-TV News, Fort St. John. More than 100,000 people are still without power in Quebec today. For some, this marks the 3rd day since freezing rain and high winds knocked down power lines, leaving many people in the dark. CTV's Matt Grillo has the latest. We are learning more today about a deadly plane crash near Smithers. We now know the Cessna was in the area doing survey work for the BC Wildfire Service. 3 people were killed in the crash, but 1 person did survive. CTV's Sheila Scott has the latest from Vancouver General Hospital. Hundreds of protesters gathered in Calgary today, speaking out against federal legislation they say will hurt Canada's energy sector. It has industry representatives and politicians demanding change, with Alberta's oil patch already down and out. CTV's Jordan Canagan reports. Polls are open across America for midterm elections today. Voters are making sure their voices are heard in deciding which party takes control of Congress and several key state races. As of noon, a record number of votes had already been cast in advance polls. So here's a look at what's at stake. It's a place not many people get to see, but it plays a vital role in determining the health of every baby born in BC and the Yukon. CTV's Maria Weisgarber gets a look inside the newborn screening program at BC Women's Hospital and how it's saving lives with just a few drops of blood. On March 31st, Grand Prairie RCMP responded to a call at an apartment building of a suspect breaking into mailboxes at the location. Officers located the suspect and found weapons and drugs in the contents of his belongings. 33-year-old Michael Jeffrey Ginter is facing 17 charges, including multiple counts of possession for the purpose of trafficking, possession of property obtained by crime, and possession of a weapon for dangerous purpose, amongst other charges. Ginter remains in custody and is scheduled to appear in Grand Prairie Provincial Court on May 6th. Taking a look at the regional forecast for tomorrow, Hudson's Hope is looking at sunshine in the forecast, a high of -3. Fort Nelson, much the same, the sun shining for tomorrow, a high of -8. Chetwynd, Fort St. John, and Dawson Creek, it's all sunshine for you as well. We've got highs of -6 in Fort St. John, and in Chetwynd and Dawson Creek, we're looking at a high of -5. Tumbler Ridge is looking at a high of -7 for tomorrow, but sunshine as well. And over in Alberta, we're looking at sunshine in Spirit River, a high of -10. And in Grand Prairie, sunshine as well, and a high of -8. Well, that's our newscast for this evening. Tune in again Monday night at 6. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and have a great weekend.